Hi, I'm Nico from Microsoft, and I'm joined by Mark from HP. And today we're going to be discussing about how to empower your customers to go through a digital transformation with the modern workplace. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Nico. How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you. We've been seeing a lot of changes in the marketplace today with trends that are affecting every single business. We know that the tasks that the employees are doing in a business are much more collaborative, actually 50% more collaborative than a few years ago. We know also that the workforce is going mobile, and about 37% of them are working from different places and not the office, and that is predicted to go even to 50% by 2020. And lastly, we have the cybersecurity attacks going straight to small businesses with 43% of them targeting them. How do you see this changing in the marketplace from an office and the way we collaborate with devices?
Well, absolutely everyone's going mobile. We're starting to see that offices are now changing away from that cubicle-driven sort of office to a more open space, huddle zone, collaborative area type of environment. Now, there's reports that say that can be beneficial. Most millennials are able to drown out the distractions of an open planned office, while some of the older sort of past millennial sort of ages are now having difficulty with higher stress, greater leave, those type of things. So it can work in both spaces. Really depends on what the type of user you have in those spaces. But absolutely, it doesn't matter which sort of form factor or where you're going to, it's going into the place where everyone's moving to mobile.
Absolutely. And one of the great things is that we're launching products that are addressing these concerns. For example, Microsoft 365 Business, our product that we launched in November 1st, 2017, is bringing not only the collaboration that everybody knows and loves from Office 365, like the applications that go on the desktop, like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, but also we have the services that enable that collaboration, like Skype for Business, Teams, OneDrive, to have everything online and encrypted, and also some business applications like Bookings or Outlook Customer Manager, and more that are coming down the line to address these concerns. But also we have new security features and management of the devices incorporated into the single console, which are bringing these capabilities towards a new product that is simplified for these businesses.
Absolutely. Security is either the number one or number two concern of nearly all organizations worldwide. We're seeing that most organizations these days are getting hit every 40 seconds. Ransomware is hitting their business. We're seeing the cost of breaches going up. And in Australia next year, in February in 2018, you will start to see the introduction of the Notification Breach Act.
Yeah, the Act requires businesses to notify their customers if there was a data breach within 30 days. That means that if they lost a device that is accessing data of the business, or if they sent an email to a person that is not supposed to receive that, they have to act really quickly and notify those customers. So that's something that we want to address as well. And the good thing is with Microsoft 365 Business, we do have those capabilities built into the single console, where you can wipe the information that is related to the business with a single click from that console. So if the device is lost or stolen, you can wipe it with one click. And also you can set up a policy to restrict business information to be only into business apps. So if they want to copy and paste business information into personal apps like WhatsApp, for example, that will not be possible. And same thing if they want to use their personal email or another personal app to send and forward those emails, that won't be possible either, which is really good to address these type of concerns that businesses have today.
So HP sees this a little bit different to just banging on software on top of PCs. We want to make sure that we look at it from a full level of looking at the device, the identity, and the data, not just in the OS, above the OS and below the OS. And what I mean by that is, below the OS, as soon as you press the power button on, you're then having protection through our Sure Start product. If 9 times out of 10 when you have some malicious code on your BIOS, it's a full motherboard replacement. That's 2 to 3 days of downtime. With us, we put a golden image straight back on, and you're back up and running in less than a minute. Gives you identification to the user, as well as a system log through the Windows event log. This also allows you to have runtime intrusion detection, meaning if something starts to shut down my security, my encryption that Microsoft offers, it will detect that and give you a notification about this. Now, when we start looking at the authentication of the product, in our top-of-the-line products, we've now moved to IR cameras, and we've improved our biometrics by having hardened biometrics. So you're using the Windows Hello technology, and I'm able to walk in, log in with my fingerprints or my face. 9 times out of 10, or I think it's actually 63% of most breaches happen because of weak or default passwords. And above the OS, we have things like our SureView technology, our secure erase, as well as other tools that allow you to enable, while your data is on the move and people are using it around publicly, you're protected.
Yeah, I've been using one of the X360 products and it's brilliant.
I moved to the X360 with SureView purely for that feature alone. This is where I'm able to be using my machine out in the public where you really don't know who's looking behind you or what you're doing. I can click Function F2 and I've got an inbuilt privacy screen, blocking out 95% of the visible light from 35 degrees from center. So what I'm talking about is it's perfect on the plane. If I'm doing some presentation or looking at products that haven't been released, I press Function F2 and no one around me can see what I'm doing. One of the big things I like about the new X360 form factor is that I can give it to my mum, she can use it like the traditional clamshell, I can then give it to my kids and they can use it like a tablet, and then I can then take the pen and start digitizing. So I'm not going from pen and paper to the old days and then back to digitizing it through Word and so on. I can now do all this with the pen.
That's one of the great collaborations between Microsoft and HP, for example, because this hardware innovation is helping us bring new experiences to life. And while a lot of our customers already have Office, they might not have the latest version of Office with Office 365. In Word, for example, you have the inking editor where you can use the pen to annotate as you would do in a piece of paper. You would scratch a paragraph that you don't like to delete it and automatically will disappear from your screen, or make annotations on the side, or even highlight with precision. That is something that I've struggled while I was a student. Things like that, or the inking workspace that allows you to have sticky notes that are smart and connect with Cortana to give you reminders or easy access to different tasks, or even for Paint 3D creations or anything from an editing perspective of a picture or video. You can add things with your pen as you would do with mouse, for example.
I'm a massive fan of OneNote. I use that for all of my notes in all of my meetings. It really does enhance my productivity quite easily. And I think this is where HP is now starting to create pens that are over 2,000 different levels of pressure. So you have that flexibility that feels like you're writing on a pen. We've just released our new ZBook X2. It has over 4,000 different levels of pressure. If you've ever written with a really nice pen on really nice paper, that's what it feels like. It's very precise. And I've even had someone sit there and draw and paint, and she compared it to doing her weekly painting on Sundays and without the mess. So that's the sort of experience we want to start having in that inking environment, to go in collaboration with Microsoft.
And the good thing is all that handwriting now with the smarts of the PC at the back is all indexed, and you can search for any term that you have. So OneNote and inking, great experience.
Absolutely. So I know that Microsoft 365 includes all the Office productivity tools as well as additional features on that. One of the big things for us is that we're now doing a lot of Skype for Business integration, where at the top right-hand corner of the keyboard, we have those answer, disconnect, share my screen, look at my calendar type quick and easy access buttons. So if a Skype call does come in, it'll actually show up red and green, answer, red, disconnect. Because what they're finding is most meetings takes about 12 minutes for people to get into, and 48% of the time it's the technology getting in the way. We're trying to drop that wasted time that people have, because everyone's in meetings these days, just so it's quick and easy.
That's great. And one of the questions I usually get is, how do I manage these devices? I'm a small business. I don't have a full mobile device management console. The great thing is Microsoft 365 Business adds that to the familiar and simple Office 365 console. So it's very simple to set up policies across the devices. And this is not only for Windows 10 PCs, but also the phones that the employees are bringing to the workforce, like Android, iOS devices. And that's where you can set policies for second factor authentication or restriction of copying and pasting, as I explained before. So this is a really good way to do it. And for Windows 10 devices, we can also make a deployment much easier, because we have Windows Autopilot, where you as a partner would set up in the console, in the background, the policies that you want to set up for this particular profile. And then when the customer gets the HP device directly from HP, they open, punch their own credentials, and off they go. Everything is provisioned, is joined to the domain, and is managed, that device, by the administrator with all the policies and security that they need, and also the applications.
Absolutely, and security is just that major concern. We saw what WannaCry can do to an organization. This is trying to mitigate a lot of that risk.
Typical topic with our customers is ransomware. What do we do against that? For me, Windows Defender is a great way to mitigate that. We have incorporated anti-ransomware in Windows Defender. And the fact that we have it up to date, because we take signals from 500 million devices running Windows 10 across the world, we understand what is happening, we react to that, we create patches, and we roll them out. That is why it's very important to keep updated the device as well. What are you guys doing from a hardware perspective to enable this mitigation?
So we've started to use the virtual machine built inside the CPU, where we'll take the Internet Explorer tabs and allow it so that if someone does click on that link that comes through from their banking organisation or the post office or wherever it's come from, they click on that link accidentally and it pops up with a new Internet Explorer tab. What we do is we virtualize each of the individual tabs. So if it does pop up, they can close it down and it prevents it from affecting the whole system. It's only virtualized within inside that single tab. Doesn't affect any other tabs that are running, doesn't affect any other apps that are open, and it can mitigate that risk that it's going to flow through your whole system and possibly your whole network.
Microsoft 365 builds on top of Windows 10. Windows 10 comes already with a HP device and brings all the innovation from 3D with Paint, for example, or the integration with PowerPoint to make great presentations, to even mixed reality, a new way to immerse yourself in experiences that take you through this virtual world. What are you guys bringing to market in terms of that?
We're starting to see that big shift into VR, and particularly across that mechanical design engineering sort of space, but even the consumer level. We've got brand new Microsoft head-mounted displays, and we've also now got a VR backpack that you can have a completely wireless experience in a VR sort of form factor.
The feedback we've been getting from the partners on Microsoft 365 Business was great. Not only is helping them having that mature conversation with the customers and become a trusted advisor, but also is helping them reduce the sales cycle, make sure that all those transactional services that they don't add a lot of value and they are actually a commodity that don't have a lot of margin are removed out of the way so they can focus on bringing new IP and new services to their customers, and also helping them retain the customer because they can offer this as a solution that is per user per month while they're wrapping all the services and even devices.
Absolutely, and this is where our Windows 10 professional devices allow them to expand with Microsoft 365, but still have a product that has built with security in the silicon, built from the system from the ground up with collaborative interfaces as well as a design that's reliable and ready to go for a commercial environment. If any partner wants to get more information regarding the HP products, easily just contact their distribution partners, their partner business manager, or even just give HP a call and we can help them out.
And if they are still not on the cloud solution provider program from Microsoft perspective, they can talk to us directly if they have an account manager or to the DIST to get access to that program. This is a great collaboration between Microsoft and HP on delivering that vision of a modern workplace.
Great collaboration and great solutions.
Thanks so much for your time.
No problem, thank you.